Hey everyone, so what I have coming today is another repair and replacement video. Really it's both replacements. One of them is my water pump has been extremely loud since I bought the RV. And just recently, I think I may have mentioned in a video, and it may not be a video that's up yet, that about 2 weeks ago the pump kept running and cycling off and on when no water was being used. So my first thought was I had developed a leak somewhere, and I tore everything apart, traced every line. I could not find a leak anywhere. So it went away on its own. Like a day later, actually I think it was hours later, it stopped and was fine. As of yesterday, now it's much worse than it was. And again, I've looked everywhere. I can't find any leaks anywhere. So I'm going to replace the pump. Second thing I have is a LED light that I'm going to use to replace one of the fluorescents that I have in here, because these fluorescents, you turn one on and I drop 0.2 of a volt. You know, they're a pretty heavy draw. I use battery LEDs, little puck lights at night, but when I need to see better, I'll flip one of these on, and anything to conserve energy I think is good. So first thing that I need to do, we're going to do the water pump, which means I'm going to have to completely drain my freshwater tank. And what I think is wrong with the old pump, these have a check valve in them. So if that check valve goes bad, what will happen is the pressure will seep back through the pump to the tank side while it's sitting, causing the pressure to drop on the pressure side and cause the pump to turn on eventually. Until it builds that pressure back up, then it shuts off. Let me see if I can let you hear what this pump sounds like. And this is without, let me turn a light on here. Yeah, that didn't make any difference. The pump is under my bed, so the freshwater tank and everything's under here. I am going to set this here simply for the audio, and here we go. So I don't know if you could hear that. It sounds like somebody rapping on a loose board with a hammer. So basically, I'm going to take the mattress and everything off of my bed and get that compartment open, and I'll be right back. So you can see I've removed the mattress, removed the cushion. This slides out to make a double bed if you wanted that. Water tank. And right there is the old water pump. So first thing I need to do is I'm going to have to drain. I don't know if you can see that, but this tank's about half full. I'm assuming it's about 15 gallons of water I got to get rid of. And so that's the next thing I'm going to do. So another thing that I'm going to do is bypass my hot water heater so that I'm not draining it. And that is under here. So here is the hot water heater. Close this valve. Close this valve. And open this valve. And that bypasses the hot water heater system. And then I'm going to use the outdoor shower to drain it. I'll spare you watching water run for 20 minutes. Okay, so the first thing I did is unplug the power from the ground. Second thing I'm going to do is unscrew it from, oh nice, they got all different kinds of screws in here. Unscrew it from the board that it's mounted to. And the last thing I'm going to deal with is transferring the water lines over. I shouldn't get any leakage. I have my low point drains open, and what they call the low point drain for the yeah, I'm not going to reuse these screws, that's for sure. What do I got here? Looks like I've got, looks like they just use whatever screws they could find. I got one regular Phillips, I've got one pan head Phillips, I've got what looks like a 5/16, and can't see what's in the fourth location, if anything. And it's getting warm in here. Probably should be using my impact driver, but I got no place to be. Although I should be doing laundry. And as far as I can tell, there's no screw in that. Nope, no screw in that fourth location. I kind of like the fact this is a rubber mount. Just kind of funny with how loud this thing was. Alright, so now I got to get that guy out of there. May have to pull out the bigger tool bag. No, there it is. It's coming out. So now, other than the water lines, the pump is free. So, I'm going to get a towel. And I think I'm going to do washcloths. Dirty washcloths. Let's see what happens when I disconnect this line. Got some drippage. Hope I'm not going to get a flood. Nope. Just a little bit of drippage. Let's try this one. It's the one coming off of the tank. And as far as I can see, the tank looks completely empty. And you're probably just seeing my arm. Alright. So, pumps are a little different. The height on the water line's going to be out a little bit farther. Although I don't think that'll be a problem. I'll find out in a minute. Sorry, bad camera angle. So this is 55 psi. This one was only 45 psi. 3.1 bar, 3.7 bar. So basically what I'm doing here is I am taking the power wire off of the old pump because it has the proper connectors on it and plugging it onto the new pump. Then the next thing that I did was
cut off the male connector because I didn't have any new ones to crimp on from the old pump and connected it with a butt connector to the new pump so that it would just be a direct plug-in once I got the pump mounted. Pretty much from this point on, installation is basically backwards of the way it was taken out. So the pump will get dropped back into place. The water lines will get attached, getting 4 drywall screws for mounting it so that the screws are the same. So yeah, the water lines will get hooked up, then it'll get screwed to the board, and then the last thing would be hooking up the wiring and testing it. So I'm going to speed the film up at this point. No need for me to leave it at normal speed. Again, I apologize for shutting that mic off. And at this point, it is just plugging the power and ground back in and filling the water tank back up and checking for leaks. Alright, the water pump's replaced. I have no leaks. Everything seems to be working. So now I'm going to leave it sit open so I can hear it. Still makes some noise, but I figured it would. To make sure I don't hear it run every so often. But yeah, basically there's the new pump. And this is what the inside of a small RV ends up looking like when you got to do work in it and you don't want to throw stuff outside like your bedding. Okay, so that fixed the water pump problem, and now I'm going to start on the light. So basically, I got a puck light up here. It's what I've been using to save on energy, keep my batteries as charged as possible. So the first thing I'm going to do is see how strong this, okay, that came off, which is cool. So next thing would be to take the lens off, which just pulls right off. 4 screws, so I don't even need to take the bolts out to what I can see. So we'll take the light down. I'm hoping they didn't like butcher the carpet behind this. Trying to see how they made these connections with butt connectors. So that's cool. I'm going to do the exact same thing. So this is going to be really simple and quick. Old light down. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to snip these one at a time. Black should be negative. Then I am going to strip the negative. And my reason for doing it this way is I'm going to put a butt connector on that one while the other one's still hooked up, so there's no chance of accidentally shorting the two together. So that one's protected. I'll cut the red one. And the light is down. I have 2 replacement bulbs and a replacement light now for my other lights. Now I'll grab the new light. Which they give you 4 screws and 2 wire nuts. I'm not going to use the wire nuts. How you get the lens off to the bolts in is a good question. You can see you got the holes. 2 lenses are off. Wires are pre-stripped. I'm going to strip a little more and double them over because they're kind of thin wires. Now this says it draws 7 watts. I'm guessing that's with both sets of LEDs running. This claims it just has an off and on switch, but I looked at it. The switch actually is a 3 position, so it's off. I'm assuming and hoping it's off, 1 light on, and both lights on. That's what I'm hoping it is. So those are stripped. Red wire. Huh. Dead ladybug. Over time, I'm hoping the impression from the old light will come out. sure that's off so I don't blind us. Now, if you're not comfortable, I recommend you disconnect your batteries. I have a battery disconnect right here on the side that I could have hit, but I did automotive aftermarket work for many years. And we should have light. Yep, middle position is one light, and that's both, and that's extremely bright. That's way brighter than the fluorescence on the wall. Now we'll send this all back up. And that actually looks like that's going to fill in nicely. I think the screws they sent to work, they may not be long enough. You may have to use the ones from the other. Nope, they work. It's harder to get the screws out of the plastic package than the whole rest of the job. Yeah, that's mega bright. These guys back in. And there we go. We got light. And I see absolutely, see if I can give you an idea here. So, I don't know if you can see that's reading 13.1. I turn both of these on, and I'm holding at 13.1. Now, I'm going to flip on one of the fluorescents, and boom. See if it starts to drop. So that's installing a light. Really simple. I hope you liked this how-to video. If you did, please subscribe, thumbs up. If you didn't like it, thumbs down, and make it a great day.